Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us. Happy you are here. Today is Saturday, the 24th of February, 2023. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're here every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. live down at the WCCO studio. We've got a full house today, and this is, again, a local show hosted by Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans, Scott Wollmering, myself, Ryan O'Neill of the Minnesota Real Estate Team, RE/MAX Advantage Plus, and Adam Hartung in studio today. And we're getting ready to go live on air. Again, News Talk 830 WCCO. Here we go, guys. Well, good morning and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And top of the morning to you. It is February 24th. 2024, and we're live here down at WCCO every Saturday morning in the Minnesota Real Estate Show, hosted by Mr. Mike Overson of Luminate Home Loans, Scott Wollmering, myself, Ryan O'Neill of the Minnesota Real Estate Team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus. Happy you are here with us, and you can interact with our show at any point. 612-294-6949, 612-294-6949 by phone or text. This is all things real estate and mortgage. Scott and Mike, good morning to you there, guys.
Hey, good morning, Ryan.
Yeah, good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like Ryan said, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're here every Saturday for an hour till the top of the hour. We love your comments and feedback. 612-294-6949. We are going to talk everything real estate and mortgage related like we always do. We always have a fun show topic a fun non-show topic that we'd like to throw out there. This weekend is, what are your top 3 series? Since Adam Hartung didn't understand what series meant, that is anything you watch on a television that you binge watch over a period of time. Your top 3.
Top 3.
This is actually a selfish question because I'm out of series right now, and I want something that's good. So if you give us your top 3, what do people think?
Is it color television?
It's color television.
Color television, okay.
Yes, color television series.
Speaking of color televisions, I remember growing up, we had, think of just, again, not to go on a tangent, but TVs. We had, I loved it, in our family room growing up. It was probably 4 feet thick. The TV was. That sat on the ground. And now you think about it, just with TVs and just for people over time, evolution of television.
My dad had a big square pillow that sat it looked like a piece of furniture that sat to the right of the TV, and I would sit on it. And then I would sit on it, so then I'd have to get up to change the channel. And then when he was sick watching what he would, he'd say, "Scott, turn it to channel 4." So I'd switch to channel 4. And so I would sit up by the TV. That way I didn't have to get up all the time.
So here's a question for you. You know how like trends cycle around, right? You remember those big console TVs that was like built into a cabinet?
Yep.
Are those going to make a comeback at all?
No.
I don't think so.
No, we're too slim. Everything's got to be slim. My son, when he was about 7, we went to my Grandpa Larry's house. And we left, and he said, "Hey, Dad, what are all those big things on the back of Grandpa Larry's TVs?" Because it was all those old ones with, he'd never seen it.
Yeah. So each week we like to do a real estate and mortgage update. The first segment of the show. You're welcome again to interrupt us at any point. 612-294-6949. Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans. Give us a mortgage snapshot. How are things looking?
So let's do an interest rate recap here since December 28th. So December 28th, we were down to 6.25% for interest rates. Okay, they held pretty steady there for the remainder of December and a lot of January. February 1st, we were sitting at 6.375. Just yesterday, which was February 23rd, sitting closer to 6.875 to 7%. So it did come up here since the 1st of February. I truly think this is just one of the waves, right?
Yeah.
Interest rates falling is never a straight line. It's a wave. It's up and down. I still think the general trend throughout the year here is going to be rates are going to trickle down. This is just, we're at the top of a wave right now. Give it a few weeks and we're probably going to be back on a down cycle and we're going to be off and running.
Yeah, it is. Are you seeing mortgage applications? How is it for you and your team?
Mortgage applications, it's cyclical too. Early January, first 2 weeks of January was gangbusters.
Well, sure. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, rates are going to drop. We got to get back in. Then all of a sudden,
Yeah, so it has settled back a little bit. 15 applications, a week for the first couple weeks in January, settled back to more like 7 or 8 now per week, per loan officer in our branch. But that'll pick back up as we get more into the spring here. And you also have to remember too, we got such a backlog of pre-approved buyers waiting and sitting there. So it's not like we're short buyers anywhere. We have a ton of people pre-approved and ready to go. They're just waiting for the right thing. It's either the right house, or the right affordability, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of buyers sitting on the sideline waiting to go.
Yeah, let's give a little real estate update here in the first segment. In the Twin Cities, new listings increased year over year by 18.4%. There were 1,061 new properties that went on the market. Pending sales also increased year over year, 6% increase in pendings, 760. And then the inventory, thankfully, also increased slightly year over year, 3.5% increase in inventory. And then just an interesting comment, guys. They talked about seller profits. They said seller profits declined for the first time since 2011. But they said it found that home sellers made $121,000 profit on the sale of a median priced single family home.
That's a good point.
Resulting in a 56.5% investment return year over year. So, but I mean, think about that. 120, that's a lot of money. Sure, it's a decline, but that's still in my book, people actually have equity in their homes.
Well, and it's not really a decline because it's all based on an artificial first 4 months of 2022, because this was a year after. Well, of course, we were at 2.8% for 4 months. So of course everything went crazy. So yeah, it's a decline from that, but I would say it's more of just a normal kind of sit in there. But it's to our point we've been talking about. Should you wait or should you buy? Proved our point right there. We've been saying it for 2 years. Do not sit on the sidelines and wait for rates to come down. Buy a property. Well, we just proved that if you would have bought 2 years ago, your profit, is they're calling it. I've never heard that actually. Profit.
Yeah. So in other words,
net of what you're walking
when you're
away
selling.
with.
So think about that though. I mean, $120,000 from a return. We've got Adam Hartung, Midwest Money Management, who's going to be coming up. I mean, 56% return. I mean, I think anybody who is in the stock market would enjoy that, Mike.
I mean, I could do a lot with 120,000. I'm not gonna lie. I got a lot of things I could do with that.
Yeah. Hey, we're up against the first break already. And Scott, this week we're going to do something fun. Give a little snapshot of what that is coming up after the break.
Well, we've got all kinds of things fun. So I'm not sure if this is the one you're talking about, but I'll talk about it. So after the break, one of my daughters, Maggie, actually my stepdaughter, is going to be calling in. Her father, Larry Moon, for those of you that are radio fanatics, Moon was on air for ever as the afternoon drive at KS95, to obviously different radio station, but personal in this case. So he is Maggie's dad, and Jen's actually ex-husband, and he passed away a couple weeks ago. So tonight, Trevor and Maggie are putting on a celebration of his life at a place in Minneapolis. Maggie's going to be on to call in and tell everybody how they can get involved. Very, very inexpensive tickets. Be super fun, and just a nice celebration, way to say goodbye to Larry.
Yes, 612-294-6949 is how you can join us at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. This is WCCO. Thanks for joining us. We got a full house. Adam, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you too, man.
Adam Hartung, Midwest Money Management, is here. Mike Overson, Scott. We got a full screen for everybody. As you can see it, we got a full screen. That's good, Scott. You're staying on camera
I know.
today.
I look at the edge of the little loop here. So since we're not on air,
First time home buyers.
well, we got to do that on air.
Yeah.
First
That's
time.
all right. We'll mix it up a little
Okay,
bit.
so what we're going to do today is a little different. Instead of an actual show topic, we're going to do, for those sports fans out there that have watched ESPN, they call it the lightning round. So we're just going to send out a topic or a comment, and then we'll just say the first thing that's on our mind of what we think is going to happen. So, for example, when I say first-time home buyers in relation to 2024, what do you think is going to happen with first-time home buyers 2024?
Mike?
You want me to answer now?
Yeah.
Two things. Down payment assistance seems to be popular. But then acting quickly would be the two things that come to my mind right away.
Down payment assistance and acting quickly. What comes to your mind, Ryan?
Comes to my mind, working with a really good agent who is going to help you navigate the multiple offer process, to help you understand the purchase agreement, to help you get an accepted offer. Very important to have someone that knowledgeable, knows the industry, knows the business, knows other agents in the industry. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I mean, when I was kind of jotting these down last night, one of the things that popped in my mind when I was thinking about it, when I was thinking about maybe something that could happen in 2024, I actually thought of Mike's cash program, when I would think a lot of other lenders are going to jump on board with that. And for those that haven't paid attention to the show over the last few weeks, basically you have a first-time home buyer that doesn't have a lot of money, and he's going to be, or she's going to be competing against 15, 20 offers. And you can use Mike, and you can come in as a cash offer. You pay a little bit of a premium, obviously, to get the program, but you can actually come in as a cash offer. And I think we're going to see a trend where we're going to start to see a lot of other different lenders jump on board, and all of a sudden our multiple offers are all going to be cash offers.
Wow.
So then what do you do? I mean,
Yeah.
So anyways, my point is, when I think of first-time home buyers in 2024 and what could be a thing that pops up, that could be one of the things that pops up.
Adam, what do you think about first-time home buyers?
Well, I come to piggyback on what both the two of you said. I was thinking you need to be prepared in advance so that you can act quickly
Yep.
if the right opportunity comes around. And that means having the right people on your
Yes.
team, both the right mortgage broker, the right real estate agent, so that you're really knowledgeable. You've got everything, all your ducks in a row, so to speak.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you everybody for joining us wherever you're catching us on social media. Again, we're here from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We welcome your questions, comments, thoughts at any point during the show. Again, thank you for joining us. We're getting ready to go back live on air. But Mike, interesting though, in this market, have you got a deal accepted for a first-time home buyer recently?
Yeah. It's hit or miss. It depends on the situation, right? It's all about, has this property that you're looking at, has it been listed for a while? Are there any other offers on the table? A lot of times I have a lot of first-time home buyers that have missed out on several, right? And then you kind of figure out the game at that point. Once they figure out the game and they get comfortable with that, then it's like, okay, I know, like, if I want to go after that one, I got to go now, and it's got to be quick, and I got to do this. Now, if that one has been listed for a while and it's been sitting there, okay, I can relax a little bit, but kind of takes losing out on a few to get them up to speed of like, okay, now Mr. and Mrs. Real Estate Agent, now I understand what you're talking about.
Well, and you hit a good point, and maybe we'll cover this on air. I know we're back at it.
We'll get back live on air again. Thanks for joining us, WCCO. Got Mr. Adam Hartung here with Midwest Money Management. You need a money guy. This is the right company. Adam and his firm, Corey, do a wonderful job. We'll be talking here in just a second. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hey, welcome back to the second segment of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We do appreciate it. Hope you're having a good weekend. This is a local and live real estate show, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Saturday morning. We've got a listing we want to feature. Jennifer Ritzman has a great one down in Nerstrand, near Northfield, 420 Kielmeyer Avenue Northeast. Priced at $874,000, $999,000. It's a 5-bed, 4-bath, 3,600 plus finished square feet home. It's got over it's an 1880 stunning historic modern farmhouse on 3.2 acres. Jennifer says there's no expense spared to modernize while staying true to its history and origins. There's a 4-car tandem to garage with a large finished area, including a kitchenette, 3/4 bath, a large heated storage shed, and can open and roll to the Northfield schools. Really cool pictures. Check that out online. Again, it's in Nerstrand, 420 Kielmeyer Avenue Northeast for $874,000, $999,000, a 1880 stunning historic modern farmhouse. Very cool one, Mike. That's a cool property.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, again, we do have a special caller that is on the line. We wanted to invite on Miss Maggie, who has called into the Minnesota Real Estate Show here this morning. Maggie, thanks so much for calling.
Maggie, this is your favorite stepdad. So we were doing a little preempt before you came on, talking a little bit about your dad and the sad passing, and then of a celebration that we've got going on tonight that you and Trevor have been putting on. Maybe tell everybody what it is, maybe a little bit about your dad, and then what time this is going on and how people can get involved.
Yep. My dad was on the radio. His name was Moon. His real name was Larry. Don't get it confused. But so we are having a celebration that's called Goodnight Moon. It's in the Green Room in Uptown. It's from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Tickets are $9.50. There's going to be photo booth, red carpet, games, full bar, anything you could ever want to celebrate a great man.
Yeah, he was a great man, and then all of the proceeds, Maggie, ticket sales are all going to MS, because that's what Larry passed away from.
Yep, it's all going to the MS Society. They work together quite a bit. They did a lot of fundraisers together, so we thought it would be a great way to participate in it.
Yeah, that's awesome. On a side note, we have Adam Hartung on, that is now your new boss, and we were talking a little bit about before the show that even though I love you and you're my daughter, I listened to your voicemail, and if an employee of mine had that voicemail, Adam, I might let her go. she leaves a voicemail with her phone number twice. If you've called me, anyway, I'm just giving you a little grief, sweetie. Love you. We're looking forward to tonight. Shoot that time out again, and how people can get involved, website and all that kind of stuff.
7 p.m. to 1 a.m. You can just go look up the Green Room in Minneapolis and go on under events, and the tickets should be there. There's also a GoFundMe. If you look up Larry Moon Thompson, we are trying to raise $51,000. We partnered with KS95, so together, if we do raise $51,000, it would equal 95.
Yeah, Maggie,
Very
just
cool.
Really appreciate you calling. Your dad was such a wonderful guy. And we really appreciate you taking the time calling in here this morning. Okay.
Of course. I hope to see you all there.
And Maggie, you don't need to worry about getting fired.
Yeah. Thank you, Maggie. What a sweetheart. Thanks everybody for your support to Larry. Just a great guy. In an important cause. MS. My dear father had MS. So it's an important thing for us all to be aware of, and a fundraiser to support Scott. Yeah,
he was an incredible man. It was an honor to know him, and just one of these guys that lived his life the way that you would want to live. Treated everybody great. Just a great guy. So yeah, come out, and if you didn't know Larry and you didn't listen to him on the radio, doesn't matter. It's just going to be a fun night. Drinks, dancing, cool night. So come out if you want.
Yeah, we wanted to this week on the Minnesota Real Estate Show, we wanted to present a couple different topics and then get thoughts from each of us on those topics. We were just talking a little bit about first-time homebuyers. Scott, what's the next one on our list?
Yeah, so first-time homebuyer. These are kind of like a lightning round. So we're gonna send out a topic here. We're just gonna give our thoughts on what comes to mind. Maybe for those that weren't listening off air, first-time homebuyers. I just said in 2024, when I say first-time homebuyer, what's the first thing that pops to your mind? And Mike, what were you saying?
I was saying down payment assistance seems to be on the top of a lot of people's minds these days. There's a lot of different programs out there. So that was like the first thing that came to my mind. And then the second thing was acting quickly.
Yeah. Let's hit the second one.
I think that was kind of the theme overall. So the second one is that now switching from first-time homebuyer, when I say people that are downsizing. Scott, I want to downsize. We're going to move to Florida in 5 years. What comes to your mind?
What do you think, Mike? People downsizing in this market, looking to downsize and potentially move out of state, move to a new location.
Great time to sell because you're going to maximize on what you're selling. Second best market, seller's market that we've seen. Scott's repeated that several times over the show over the last few months here. So I would say almost one of those things too. It's like, look at it now. If it's 5 years down the road, still, you might want to look at selling now because you know what you can get right now.
Yeah, we had a text message question. And again, you can interrupt us at any point. 612-294-6949. This one says, looking at a listing, a home for sale where the home sold in 2018, 2020, 2022, and now again in 2024. Worries me why a place sells so often. What's wrong with it? Is the question. And I think that's fair to ask that question. Again, hopefully you're working with a really good real estate agent. He or she can help you take a look at the seller's disclosure, take a look at the history of the property. And oftentimes properties do sell frequently. I don't think it's necessarily a red flag about the property itself. I think again, do some due diligence on seller's disclosure. Check. You're going to be most likely doing a home inspection if you're able to, and to do that due diligence. But I wouldn't worry just because it's been sold a lot.
Yeah, that's my immediate thought is it's an anomaly. It happens. I mean, who knows? I mean, the immediate thought is to try to attach something that there's something wrong with the house. That's probably not the case. It's just probably family situations, and it just happened that way.
Yeah, downsizing. Quick thoughts.
Yeah. So my thought on downsizing, similar to Mike, I think, and I'm a big proponent of this. Whenever you're looking at real estate, you can look in 2 to 3 to 5 year gaps, and you can make choices based on what you think is going to happen. It's an educated guess. And so, yeah, if I was going to be moving to Florida in 5 years, I know right now I'm going to max out on what I can possibly sell for. And so I'm probably going to take advantage of that. And I'm probably going to cash out, maybe wait and rent, and then buy when things settle in. That's when I think about downsizing. That's what pops in.
Yeah, we're already at the halfway point of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Before the break, Fong Kao has a great listing at 605 Thomas Avenue. It's for $280,000. And a description, Fong says it's got a newer roof in 2019, new water heater in 2023. It's a move-in ready home, 3 bedrooms on 1 level, nice finished basement, fenced-in yard, convenient, close to shopping, restaurants, easy access to freeways. Again, that one is 605 Thomas Avenue for $280,000. Fong Kao with the Minnesota Real Estate Team, RE/MAX Advantage Plus, has that listed. Folks, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show every Saturday here, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Welcome your questions, comments, thoughts. This is WCCO. Thanks for being here. Again, we got Adam Hartung, Midwest Money Management. Adam did have a thought, a question that came in on the social media stream. What's going on with the stock market?
You know what? The stock market's been unbelievable and far exceeding everyone's expectations. Now that can change in a second and it can go completely the other way. But, last year, 2024, at the beginning of, or last year, 2023, at the beginning of 2023, we do forecast event. I've been doing it for 15 years and I watched the market for a lot longer than that. But 2023 was the first time that the average forecast of all the major Wall Street banks was negative for the year for the S&P 500 index. And what happened? It went up over 24%.
Oh,
so far, year to date in 2024, the S&P is up almost 7% right now.
Wow.
And again, I can argue for why I think it should fall, and I could argue for why it could continue to run right now, which is interesting too. We did our forecast event just about 3 weeks ago, the end of January, and so we put up a list of the forecasts again for the S&P 500 index this year for 2024, and there's 20 big financial firms that put their rankings on there. And it is the most, you guys can look at this chart here. And of course the listeners can't see this, but it is the most divided chart I have ever seen. Nine of the 20 firms think the market's going to be negative. 11 think it's going to be positive. And the range is from +9 to -11.9.
Wow.
I mean, it's almost exactly evenly split. Like it's a mirror image on the upside and the downside predictions.
What's interesting though, I think, and we were talking a little bit before the show, in real estate and obviously every industry, artificial intelligence is the big thing. So I think, hasn't that been driving the stock market?
It has.
NVIDIA,
this
is company.
NVIDIA, yes. There's a lot of stocks that have benefited from this, but this was the major theme that we talked about at our forecast event again in January, is the optimistic story. If you want me to get really optimistic about the market, not only now, but going forward, it is that AI people wonder, how can the market go up at 6% above the rate of inflation for 200 years, right? I argue that housing, for example, can't go up by 6% above the rate of inflation for 200 years because nobody would be able to buy a house. So how can the market do that? And the answer is because labor productivity has always continued to increase in the United States. We have always found a way to be more productive with our labor. And the biggest boom that we saw in labor productivity in modern history was from, I think, 1996 to 2004. And it was because this is when we figured out
Because of
how to
Mike
use
Overson.
the internet. No, it's
Yeah.
because
productivity.
that's
was-
not when the internet was first existed, but that's when companies figured out
Yeah.
how could they use the internet properly to make their employees more productive.
Oh,
It is estimated that over the next 7 years, as companies implement, they're going to increase something like 42% implementation using artificial intelligence, and that it has the potential to increase labor productivity by over 60%. Some estimates are as high as 80%
Ooh.
over a 7-year period of time. If you do that, if that really was to play out, you could see enormous growth. I mean, we're talking about GDP growth in the 12% range.
Yeah, that's
which
not going
is-
to
which is
happen
nuts.
because people are still going to work at home, so the productivity is going to drop. So all the people that are working at home, that productivity will be here, and then so it'll even out.
it is interesting. It is
I'm
interesting.
not a work at home guy.
You think
No,
about it
me
though.
either.
You think about that though. Within, everyone's like, "Oh, the internet's not going to change anything." And I know there's a lot of people with AI saying, "Oh, it's not going to change anything." But that's interesting. Very.
And again, I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm not saying this will happen, but I'm saying it is the most bullish prediction that I have ever. It's the most bullish I've ever been at even thinking something could play out this way.
You're bullish.
You're bullish.
Hey, we're going back live on air.
Kinda
Thanks for
am.
joining us.
Unusual
WCCO, Saturday
place
morning,
for
10 a.m. to 11 a.m. A lot going on. We got a full house today. Welcome your questions, comments, thoughts. Hey, welcome back to the second half of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We've got some fun listings to talk about this week. Joe Mack has a great one, 7763 Madeline Creek Drive, Scott. It's in Victoria, $340,000. And it is a townhome. It's a three-bedroom, spacious townhome. It's got the bedrooms are up with a large loft. Laundry is up also. Several new items in the house, from appliances to a new furnace, new carpet, just installed before listing. And Mr. Joe Mack is actually holding an open house right as we speak. Today, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Definitely check that one out. 7763 Madeline Court Drive in Victoria, $340,000. Mike, we and Scott, we do have to and want to invite on our kind friend, Mr. Adam Hartung of Midwest Money Management. His required disclosure is Adam is a certified financial planner, professional, accredited investment fiduciary. He's the president and founder of Midwest Money Management, located at 17316 Kenyon Avenue in Lakeville, Minnesota. Securities offered through JW Cole Financial, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors, Inc., Midwest Money Management, and JW Cole Financial. JW Cole Advisors are unaffiliated entities. Hey, thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah, it's always great to be here, Ryan. Thanks.
We were talking, guys, a little bit again before the show, during the social media stream, about artificial intelligence with real estate. And you're talking about the stock market's been going bonkers because of AI. And you really made a nice point, Adam, about the positive spin with artificial intelligence.
Yeah, and look, I'm not here to say that the market's going to go straight up in a line and never going to, fall or anything like that. But the reality is, over the longer term, if you want me to make an optimistic case for how can we get out of what I think is actually kind of a mess right now, stocks are overvalued. They have been going up rapidly and they are overvalued at the moment. We're $34 trillion in debt as a country. We've got high inflation. How do you fix all those problems? What's the optimistic story? The optimistic story is increases in labor productivity. People don't understand that really the reason why the stock market can go up at above the rate of inflation for hundreds of years and sustain that is all due to one thing. It's because we find ways to be more productive, produce more with less. And AI really does have the potential to be the biggest increase in worker productivity that we have ever seen in the history of the United States. And if you think about that, if it was to play out that way, and over the next 5 to 10 years, we saw 60% increases in labor productivity, which is kind of some of the average estimates that I'm seeing by some of the firms out there that are trying to predict the future. If that was to play out, that's a super optimistic scenario. I mean, that makes the market go from being overvalued to undervalued without having to see a crash. And right now, for me to justify the price of the market without these increases in productivity, we need to see the market drop in price before it's really an attractive value. But that doesn't have to be the case, not if we can grow our way out of it.
What does it mean for labor, for people working?
Look, I think AI is a particularly scary story. And throughout history, as new technology has come out, the reality is there are jobs that are going to be lost. They're going to be just gone. There are entire industries, entire markets for labor where those jobs will be completely replaced. But in general, most of the jobs AI is probably going to enhance what humans do as opposed to completely replace what humans do. And so, if you look at what's happened in the history of the world, when the whip and buggy, when we invented cars and the guys that made, buggies and whips, that whole industry just disappeared, but it went someplace else. It wasn't that the whole economy collapsed. In fact, we came out better and stronger, and standards of livings continued to rise.
I mean, it's been that way forever. I mean,
Yes.
Ryan, you were in the industry when we went from having no voicemail, so people would call in. The girls at the front desk would write down your note, put it on your desk, and then voicemail came in, and we're like, we don't want voicemail. We want our clients to be able to talk to us. This is ridiculous. So all of those things that change. We always
Well, the telephone. You were in the business.
Yeah,
of
it was
the telephone.
when we got the telephone.
Before.
Yes, I wanted to write notes and send my pigeon out. I did not want to have to talk on the phone.
I mean, Scott was a really great agent back then.
The biggest one. Remember this, when the internet came out, and that buyers were going to be able to look at homes online and look at photos online. 80% of my office at that time, we were done. Real estate agents were
exactly
done.
Why would you have an agent anymore?
We have 2 years,
Right.
and then our industry is done. And all it's done is strengthen our industry. It's made it more streamlined. It's been better.
It's funny. We did have someone comment on social media say, because with AI, you do these, what they're called prompts. So someone commented, said prompt for AI, and then in quote, how can America be more productive and pay off 36 trillion in debt? ? Unquote. In other words, Scott, you haven't done a lot with AI.
I have no idea how AI works.
Yes.
I'm sure I probably will not.
Well, so
I was actually telling my mom this short. If I went back in time, I don't think it would help me.
well, here's
Meaning, like, someone would be like, really? Well, who's the president? And I'd be like, ooh, gosh, I don't know.
the
How
idea
does the
with
phone work?
AI is, again, if you're going to the Chat GPT or a variety of these, you can type in different things. So like in real estate, what agents will do, create an elegant description of such and such property. And so a lot of agents, a lot of real estate people will use their descriptions. For example, we use AI. So instead of them taking an hour and writing a really thoughtful description, they've put it into Chat GPT and then they'll say, no, make it more eloquent, make it more, not so formal, things like that. And so it is interesting to see it, Mike, in the real estate world.
So my wheels are spinning obviously on this. So do you think AI is going to take like your office, quote unquote, office jobs, right? And reduce the amount of office jobs out there because AI will be able to do a lot of that stuff. And are more people then going to go to the trades? Because AI can't replace people putting up the framing and putting up sheetrock and building houses and doing that stuff. Are we going to see less office type of jobs because of this and more people swinging back to trades like that?
I don't know. Again, I think it's difficult to predict. At least for me, I've never been good at seeing what the future is going to do. I mean, there's guys, that's their whole job. I don't know if it's going to be the trades, but I think you're right. I think office jobs will be less, but I don't think they'll be eliminated. And again, this goes back to, you will be able to be more productive. You will be able to, one person will be able to do the job that takes 3 people now, because some of these things are just faster. You're more efficient. I was on a group, and we were talking specifically about financial advisors now. And there's been talk for years that the robo-advisor would replace us, and now AI is going to replace us, just like you were talking about with the real estate agent, Scott. But a guy in this group, and he made a really good point, and he said, he said, AI is not going to replace financial advisors. The financial advisor that's using AI is going to replace the
That's
financial
right.
advisors that are not. So
That's right.
it's those that learn to adapt and start utilizing the new technology the most effectively are going to be able to be more productive, which either means they can do more for their clients, or they can bring their costs down, or some combination of both. And that's what then raises standards of living. That's why people over time have a higher standard of living than they did 100 years ago. It's because of increased productivity of labor. I mean, that's literally all of it.
Not even sure, Adam, if this was your topic that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, that's fine.
This is Adam talking about AI.
It is interesting though, again, because Adam Hartung is a longtime partner of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. If you go to MN Real Estate Show, you can see all of our partners there. But Adam did a recent forecasting event, and he was talking about a little bit how the forecasts were all over the place on what people thought would happen with the market. Maybe Adam, excuse me, before the break, talk about that a little bit, and also just be sure to share how people can connect with you.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. So again, for 2024, as we look at, and we put together a list of 20 major financial firms and their predictions for the stock market for 2024, and they are the most equally split that I have ever seen. It was literally 9 of the firms think the market's going to go down with a downside target of 11.9% loss. And then there were 11 firms that thought the market was going to go up with an upside target of 9% on the high end.
So a 20%, gap.
It's a huge gap. And the point is, the market, I will tell you, I don't care what happens with AI, all this stuff, the market can turn on a dime. And the beauty of the way that we manage money, and I would just say that if somebody is worried about the markets, and by the way, I am always worried about the markets. I mean, the benefit to our clients is that I worry about the markets every day. I'm always worried something's
Well, you're a
going to
worrier.
happen.
I mean, that's what you are.
But
That's
but
who I want to
that's who
hire
you
to
want.
take care of my
That-
money. I want a worrier
That-
to take care of my money.
That's exactly was going to be my point. My point was that we have systems in place, and this doesn't mean that you can't lose money if you're a client of our firm, but it means that we are more aggressive in terms of making moves to defend money. If the market starts to fall, we are very aggressive in trying to protect that capital and limit losses. It doesn't mean we can eliminate losses, but it means that we can limit losses by being willing sometimes to take a small loss if things move in the wrong direction.
Yeah, Adam, best way for people to reach you?
Yeah, they can find us online at mnrealestateshow.com or midwestmoneymanagement.com. They can also call our office if they have questions or would like to schedule a compatibility consultation. That phone number is 651-204-3000. Again, that's 651-204-3000.
Again, Adam Hartung, Midwest Money Management. It is the final break here. We'll be back. Again, this is WCCO. Great stuff. Thanks for all the comments here too. Want to say hi to everybody. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. Good morning to you. We've got Simia LLC that just mentioned any infill land builder, buyer, investors you guys know of in North Minneapolis. We have 2 parcels for $30,000 each. Mike, Scott, any infill land builder, buyer, investors we can think of? We'll definitely spread the word
Yeah, I mean,
to our team, the Minnesota Real Estate Team.
yeah, I think that's pretty much all we can do right now. I don't have anybody that comes to mind, but also want to say thanks or hello to my mom, Mary Kalrudis, just joined us online in Illinois. Hi, Mom.
Good morning. Joe Max says, is anyone worried about humans starting to become irrelevant?
Worried, yes, but
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what we can do about it.
I don't think so. I mean, as you were talking, I mean, I'm thinking of, okay, all the productivity that eliminates jobs, and then all of the jobs that come from, it's like 10 years ago, influence that wasn't even a job. Right. Now people are making millions of dollars being influencers.
To be an influencer?
Yeah. So it's like, everything that happens has a reaction. So, I mean, everything that you do causes something else to pop up.
Yeah.
So whenever I look at jobs being eliminated, I always look at, okay, well, what is making those jobs be eliminated? And then what people are going to be into that industry. So it all, it's a market, it's a free market.
That's exactly what I think, Scott.
Yeah.
And it's hard. I would have never predicted that influencer was going to be the next big job, 10 years ago. But the point is, it is. So I don't know what the jobs are going to be. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that people figure it out. I mean,
I think
my-
Mike could do it.
My mom's an influencer.
Yes.
Yeah, she is.
I'm thinking, did Terminator 2 predict the future?
Yeah.
Is that going to be our future coming?
You know
up?
what? If nothing else, our job can be freedom fighters.
Yes.
Against the machines.
There we go. Yep. So,
But it is true. Have we learned nothing from Terminator? I mean, literally because this is literally
We are walking down the
Terminator.
path.
This is it.
I know.
This is 19. This is we're 2 weeks out from 1987 when the machines got knowledge. What year was that?
with Skynet, whatever.
Yeah, Skynet,
and all that,
1986 or whatever.
Yep,
That's
yep.
what's happening. I mean, think
We're
about
living-
it.
we're
Think
living
about it.
that
We
movie.
can't describe our houses. we're having a computer describe our houses.
Very true.
I mean, when you get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to describe a house here. Maybe there's a computer that can do it for me. I mean, that's where we're at.
Yeah. Again, we've mentioned throughout the show inventory levels, historic lows in the Twin Cities. We've got a variety of topics. We've been talking about first-time home buyers as well. Just again, really be sure you're working with a top real estate agent to help you through the process. So important in this market here. And to Adam's point, just be sure that for example, the agent is using AI. How are they using AI to assist their business to be more productive?
Thomas Griffith with RT. Robert Thomas Holmes just joined online. Robert Thomas, incredible builder. Really
Very nice. Here we go. We're going back live on air on WCCO. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Welcome back to the final segment of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Did want to touch on a couple other listings here. Joe Mack has one in Eagan, 2134 Jade Point in Eagan for $330,000. It is a new listing, 3-bed, 2-bath. It's got a split level, tuck under garage, a refreshed kitchen. It's a large lot with a new deck overlooking the yard. It's on a cul-de-sac. That's a very secluded neighborhood close to the Mall of America, the Eagan Outlet Mall, the airport, a great location. There's new flooring throughout as well. Again, check that one out. 2134 Jade Point, Eagan. It is for $330,000. And then we had one other one. Heidi Huseth has got a great one here. Miss Heidi Huseth has one in Lakeville, 8360 Lower 20th Street West for $400,000. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage. It's got over $45,000 in a kitchen remodel. One owner for 36 years. A new furnace in 2018. And there's an open house today. Heidi says she's doing an open today from 10:30 to 12. The address on that one is 8360 Lower 20th Street West, Scott. A really nice one.
Very cool. And if you go to that open, you get to actually talk with Heidi Huseth, one of my favorite people. She's a great agent and sounds like a great listing. So Bryce Shanky on the Minnesota real estate team is repping a builder in south of the river. And I'm going to pull the builder's name up here in a second. It'll get to me. But anyways, $550,000 to $700,000 is where Bryce is representing the builder. And you guys go ahead and talk. I'll find the name here. I'm sorry. I lost it in my.
Yeah, no worries. Again, we appreciate you joining us every week on the Minnesota Real Estate Show. The show, again, Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans, longtime host of the show. He and his team, Luminate Bank, are right here in the Twin Cities. One of the important things for first-time home buyers in buying for any buyers is working with a really reputable lender on your offer. Mike and his team, highly respected by all the agents, brokers, companies in the Twin Cities, and they know their stuff. I really can't encourage you enough to reach out to Mike. Mike, you guys really are dialing it in.
Our big thing is education. If first-time home buyer comes to us, fills out an app online, And if you're just talking numbers over the phone, I guarantee I can make you go cross-eyed in about 2 seconds,
Yeah.
talking about debt to income ratios and this and that and and PMI and all this, right? So we're big on education. So we always meet our clients in person, or we do a screen share meeting online where we can share your screen with us, or we share your screen with you, and then we walk through all the numbers and stuff. And when you can see them live like that, things really click a lot better. So that's one of the big things, you know, we're kind of strive for, is that education, that clarity, and how things fit together.
And product wise, Mike, again, you've got that. Maybe talk about that cash deal that you've got for agents and buyers.
Yeah, a lot of traction with this. We have a cash buyer program. Basically, if you get pre-approved with us, what we'll do for you is we will go buy the house that you want to buy with a cash offer, and we will buy it and close on it so that you can be competitive against other buyers and in that multiple offer situation. And then we'll sell that house back to you for the exact same price that we bought it for on that cash offer. Yeah. Works very slick. I got a ton of them going, and it is going to give a lot of people that competitive advantage, you know, as we move through the spring here.
Sorry about that. I butchered that earlier with Bryce Shanky, Castlegate Construction. I've seen these homes, beautiful homes ranging anywhere between 550 to 800. They've got developments in Farmington, Lakeville. Reach out to Bryce Shanky with the Minnesota Real Estate Team. You can find him by going to mnrealestateshow.com and just looking at our team list. Great homes and very affordable, 550 to 800.
Yeah, last one again for all the folks in Minneapolis. We've got one on Terrymore, 429 Terrymore Avenue in Minneapolis, priced at $900,000, a 4-bed, 2-bath home on the Minnehaha Parkway. It's got a gourmet kitchen, great gathering space. Exterior is very well maintained, beautiful landscaping. There's a separate office space in the 3rd level and a large finished lower level. Steve McDonald is doing open house today, Saturday, and tomorrow, 1 to 3, 429 Terrymore Avenue. Be sure to check that out for $900,000. Guys, last thoughts, Scott?
Just getting text here that we need to give our top series lists. Quick. Totally forgot about it. Was even the question. Mine would probably be Dexter, Breaking Bad, and Dexter and Breaking Bad, my top 2.
Dexter and Breaking Bad. Mike, are you a series guy?
You guys know I don't watch any TV.
No,
I got 4
You
kids.
don't.
They're all going on. I will tell you though, if you go to Something Bit Me, which is on Disney Plus, it's only 1 season. There's 12 episodes.
Something bit me.
You will get sucked in. I guarantee you'll get sucked in. And knowing Scott, he'll watch all 12 in one night.
Something bit me. I will, because I will watch it all in one night.
The other one was I Was Prey. It's a lot like Something Bit Me. This is just a new one that came out that me and the boys just watch every once in a while. But guarantee Something Bit Me will suck you in and you'll be hooked.
Adam, are you we got to get Adam Hartung.
All right, I'm gonna go with Suits.
Yes, Suits is good.
That's where my hair.
I have
came
not
from, by the
watched
way.
it. I have not watched it forever, but that is a good one.
Suits, Yellowstone,
Yes, Yellowstone.
and Longmire.
Yeah.
Have you seen Longmire? Okay.
Those are good.
Very good stuff.
Yeah, we should now, before Ryan tells us his, we should have like harp music playing.
Hey, we're up against the end of the show here.
No, you got to give yours quick.
I like the show Billions has been a good
Yes,
one.
that's a good one.
Billions was always a good one. I'm
got
blanking
weird.
out on different ones
That's
right
right.
now, but hey, it's been a fun show, guys. Mike, again, I can't encourage agents listening enough. Reach out to Mike and his team. Thoughts, Mike?
Reach out to us. Applywithmike.com is where you can find me. You can fill out apps there. You can get a hold of me. You can email me, message me through there. So that's the best place to start. If you got questions, buyers, agents, reach out to us. We do a ton of new construction. We have our cash buyer program, and we also have the Wish program where you can get up to $29,000 as a grant. So reach out to us.
Nice job, Scott.
Come out to the Moon event tonight at the Green Room in Uptown. You can go to my Facebook. You can find the invite there.
Yeah, again, thanks everybody for joining us. The Minnesota Real Estate Show. You're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help you. We've got a top agent all over Minnesota. Take care. That was kind of a fun little saxophone song at the end there. Dennis, what was the name of that sax song there at the end? That was kind of a smooth jam we had there. I noticed Mike was kind of
I don't know what the name of it is. Grover Washington.
I
Grover
didn't hear it.
Washington.
Yeah, good old Grover. Yeah.
Hey guys, AI. Thank you for joining us on social media. We do appreciate it. Hope you all have a great weekend. Nice job, guys.
Very good, guys. Thanks.
Yeah. Again, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.